What did Katy Perry steal from Taylor Swift that ruined their friendship? What movie tore apart the once inseparable duo of Gwyneth Paltrow and Winona Ryder? Keep watching to find out all the deets about these celeb frenemies. Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato's friendship goes way back, beginning when the stars were both on the children's show, Barney and Friends, when they lived in Texas. The show's director at the time, Fred Holmes, told IB Times, "They were pretty inseparable and ate lunch together and all those types of things." Holmes was right about the two stars becoming best friends, and they famously got their own shows on Disney Channel, with Gomez landing the lead in Wizards of Waverly Place, before Lovato scored Sunny with a Chance. Gomez and Lovato would make YouTube videos together as teens, and even teamed up to star in Disney's Princess Protection Program. Gomez once stated to People, "We enjoy doing everything together." However, when a fan asked Lovato in 2010 how her BFF was doing, they replied, quote, "Ask Taylor," referring to Taylor Swift, who has a star-studded girl squad that includes Gomez. While the stars would continue to support one another in their separate music careers via Twitter, the two friends were not as close as they once were, as Lovato told Andy Cohen in 2014.
"I think it's just one of those things where people change and people grow apart."
After unfollowing one another on social media, Gomez still congratulated Lovato on their performance at the 2020 Grammy Awards on Instagram. In an interview with Harper's Bazaar in 2020, Lovato answered everyone's question about where they stand with their former BFF. They said, "When you grow up with somebody, you're always going to have love for them. But I'm not friends with her. I will always have love for her, and I wish everybody nothing but the best." The feud between Taylor Swift and Katy Perry will go down in pop history, and while it lasted for quite a few years, it appears as though the women have made amends. According to the BBC, their feud wasn't necessarily because they both dated John Mayer, but because Perry had allegedly stolen Swift's backup dancers during Swift's Red Tour. For her Rolling Stone cover story, Swift admitted that her then-new song, Bad Blood, was about a certain female artist, saying, "For years, I was never sure if we were friends or not. She would come up to me at award shows and say something and walk away, and I would think, are we friends, or did she just give me the harshest insult of my life?" Swift then added, she basically tried to sabotage an entire arena tour. Perry fired back after Swift's Rolling Stone interview with a cryptic tweet, "Watch out for the Regina George in sheep's clothing." In 2017, the Dark Horse songstress appeared in James Corden's Carpool Karaoke segment and discussed her feud with Swift.
There's a situation. Honestly, it's really like she started it, and it's time for her to finish it.
Time reported that Perry was over the feud, and in 2018, she sent Swift an actual olive branch along with a note that Swift later shared on her Instagram. Lauren Conrad and Heidi Montag were the ultimate best friends when they starred on MTV's The Hills, but their friendship came crashing down because of a rumor that left Conrad famously shouting,
"You know why I'm mad.
Why?
You know what you did.
What did I do?
You know what
did
you did.
I do?"
The women's friendship hit a brick wall when Montag began dating and eventually marrying Spencer Pratt. It was Pratt who leaked a story to a tabloid that Conrad had a sex tape with her then-boyfriend, Jason Waller, which Conrad quickly denied on her website, saying, "Jason and I are both shocked and hurt that people would say such horrible things about us." It was then on season 3 that fans watched as Conrad confronted Montag at friend Frankie Delgado's birthday party. In 2009, Conrad revealed that Pratt made up the rumor, stating, "We actually have it on tape. Spencer takes responsibility and apologizes for it." Conrad even attended Montag's wedding that year, which was also televised on season 5 of The Hills. It was the last time fans would see Conrad on the show. She told Us Weekly, "At that point, this wasn't really my life anymore." While the two stars are no longer friends, Montag did congratulate Conrad on the birth of her first child in 2017 via Twitter. At the start of their careers, Gwyneth Paltrow and Winona Ryder were glued at the hip. The Daily Mail reported that the women were living together in the same apartment, and they ended up dating Hollywood's best pals, Ben Affleck for Paltrow and Matt Damon for Ryder. However, the friendship crumbled in the late 90s when Paltrow allegedly discovered Ryder's script for Shakespeare in Love and auditioned for the role of Viola de Lesseps, a part which was believed to have been given to Ryder first. Paltrow got the role and won the Oscar for Best Actress for her performance. While Paltrow was celebrating her monumentous win in 2001, Ryder was convicted of shoplifting at a Saks Fifth Avenue, which almost ruined her career. When Paltrow launched her website Goop, one of her earlier articles, titled Evil Tongue and Living in Negativity, addressed a former friend turned frenemy that several fans speculated is Ryder. Paltrow described her former friend as, quote, venomous and dangerous, and added, but one day, I heard that something unfortunate and humiliating had happened to this person, and my reaction was deep relief and happiness. So why does it feel so good to hear something bad about someone you don't like? In the early 2000s, Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan were constantly photographed going to clubs, becoming the party duo that everyone wanted to be around. But that all changed in 2006 when Hilton's then-boyfriend, Brandon Davis, went total mean girl and called Lohan fire crotch behind her back. He yelled out other insults to paparazzi while Hilton was seen laughing. Us Weekly reported the incident occurred after Lohan began dating Hilton's ex, Stavros Niarchos. That same year, Hilton was photographed with Lohan and Britney Spears leaving a party and getting into a car together. However, in an interview in 2018 with Andy Cohen, Hilton revealed that Lohan crashed her night with Spears.
We were all at the Beverly Hills Hotel at the bungalows, and we were at an after party, and then Brittany and I wanted to leave to go home.
Right.
And then she started chasing us.
Hilton admitted that she allowed Lohan to get into the car with her and Spears so as not to, quote, humiliate her in front of all the paparazzi. Lohan seemed to want to make amends when she invited Hilton to her 31st birthday in Greece, but Hilton didn't reply, per Us Weekly. Scientology played a massive role in the feud between actors Leah Remini and Kirstie Alley. The King of Queens star left the Church of Scientology in 2013 and has since publicly slammed the faith, even creating a docuseries on A&E in an attempt to expose how controversial the church is. Remini's attempts at revealing information about the church reportedly created tension between her and Alley, who has been a member since 1979. When Remini claimed she lost friends for leaving the church, it didn't sit well with Alley, who told Howard Stern on his Sirius XM radio show, "You're not shunned, you're not chased. All that stuff's bullshit. When you decide to blanket statement that Scientology is evil, you are my enemy." Remini would also speak with Stern about Alley's comments, explaining that she understood Alley in light of Scientology's policies. Remini added that she also was fine with Alley blocking her on social media because Alley is, quote, supposed to disconnect from anybody who's antagonistic to what you're doing in your life. Camila Cabello's departure from Fifth Harmony in December 2016 wasn't taken lightly by the other four members of the group. The remaining members of Fifth Harmony released a message on the group's Instagram page that read, "After 4.5 years together, we have been informed via her representatives that Camila had decided to leave Fifth Harmony. We wish her well." Cabello released a lengthy message on Instagram that seemingly called her former bandmates liars. Cabello wrote, "The girls were aware of my feelings through the long, much-needed conversations about the future that we had during tour. Saying that they were just informed through my representatives that I was leaving the group is simply not true." That wasn't all. The four women clapped back at Cabello's post, stating, "Over the past several months, we have consistently made every effort to sit down and discuss the future of Fifth Harmony with Camila." They added that the singer refused to attend meetings and never joined lengthy conversations. Cabello has since moved on from the drama, becoming an extremely successful solo star and telling the New York Times after the split, "I have to make space for the good stuff to happen in my life. I don't hold on to the past, especially when it's stuff that, in my opinion, is just petty." Before the infamous Jordyn Woods scandal that would eventually end her close friendship with Kylie Jenner, the two stars had never left each other's side as they celebrated birthdays together and had several twinning moments. Jenner stated on Keeping Up with the Kardashians that Woods even lived in her home at one point. Jenner and Woods were so close, the reality star collaborated with her former BFF on a 2018 Kylie Cosmetics line comprised of eyeshadow, highlighter, lip gloss, and lipstick. Woods, who was close to all the Kardashian and Jenner family members, also attended Kim Kardashian's 2014 wedding to Kanye West in Italy. However, in 2019, news broke that Tristan Thompson, the father of Khloe Kardashian's daughter True, was seen, quote, making out with Woods. Thompson admitted that he had cheated on Khloe, and Woods appeared on Red Table Talk to say she, quote, did as much apologizing as she could to Khloe. The damage was done, and it appeared neither Jenner nor the rest of the family have tried to mend the friendship with Woods since the incident. Drake Bell and Josh Peck were everyone's favorite stepbrothers on Nickelodeon's Drake and Josh. The sitcom aired for 4 seasons and spawned 3 television films. With the two actors working together for so long and many hug me brother moments, it came as a shock when Bell went on a Twitter rant in 2017 after learning that he was not invited to Peck's wedding, saying, when you're not invited to the wedding, the message is clear. Another tweet read, true colors have come out today. Message is loud and clear. Ties are officially cut. I'll miss you, brother. However, Bell shared with ET the very next month that he might have taken it too far.
Yeah, I said the ties are cut, whatever. But that's like what I should have just texted that to him. You know,
You were just being cranky.
Yeah, I was just being cranky.
Bell revealed that even though he was not present at Peck's wedding, he and the actor were on good terms. After her falling out with Kim Kardashian, Larsa Pippen, best known for her former marriage to NBA star Scottie Pippen, had plenty of tea to spill about her former friend and the Kardashian-Jenner family. Pippen was very close to the famous family, but something happened that had Kris Jenner and Kim, Khloe, and Kourtney unfollowing Pippen on Instagram in 2020. In November of that year, Larsa Pippen appeared on the Hollywood Raw podcast and admitted that Kanye West, Kim's ex-husband, was the one to blame for Kim and Larsa's falling out. She said, Kanye has literally brainwashed the whole family into thinking I don't know what. He talks so much about me being this and that and this and that. Pippen also shared that rapper Travis Scott, who is the father of Kylie Jenner's daughter Stormi, called Jenner claiming that Pippen was hitting on him. That wasn't all. The reality star admitted that she dated Tristan Thompson, the father of Khloe Kardashian's daughter, True. She revealed, I kind of was seeing Tristan before Khloe. Then a week later, maybe 10 days later, he started seeing Khloe. While the Kardashian-Jenner clan hasn't publicly commented on Pippen's remarks, a source told E! the family believed Pippen was, quote, toxic energy, and that the reality star was just trying to stay relevant. Denise Richards and Heather Locklear's friendship fell apart in the late 2000s. During that time, Richards was going through a divorce from actor Charlie Sheen, which finalized in 2006, and Locklear was going through her divorce from Bon Jovi guitarist Richie Sambora. However, Richards and Sambora became an item after he split with Locklear, which sparked rumors that Richards was the cause of her friend's breakup. Richards spoke to Entertainment Tonight about her new romance with Locklear's ex and said that a relationship after her divorce from Sheen was, quote, the last thing she was looking for. The Wild Things actor admitted when speaking about Locklear, you can't help who you fall for, and that friendship, unfortunately, was done and wasn't salvageable. She clarified that she and Locklear weren't best friends, saying, I hadn't known her my whole life like people are portraying this. Whether she broke girl code or not, Richards and Sambora broke up in 2007. In an interview with Redbook, Richards spoke about her former friendship with Locklear again, sharing, yes, I got together with Heather's soon-to-be ex-husband, but no, I didn't have an affair with him. If Heather and I had been friends at that time, I would never have crossed that line. Ben Affleck's relationship with his acting buddy Matt Damon is one of the strongest friendships in Hollywood. However, Affleck has also been close to other stars, including director Kevin Smith, who is responsible for launching Affleck's career. Affleck starred in Smith's 1995 comedy Mallrats and would go on to act in more of the director's films, including Chasing Amy. However, Smith revealed that their budding friendship was over once Affleck began dating and later marrying actor Jennifer Garner. During a tour stop for a film, Smith shared, Jennifer does not share the same sense of humor as me. She did not like my jokes. I was picking on Ben Affleck. I was talking smack. And Jennifer goes, you know, if you keep saying stuff about him, I'm going to kick your ass. And she could. I've seen Alias. When Yahoo Entertainment asked Smith about Ben Affleck in 2014, the director remarked, I have not been close with him in decades. That's old Ben. He's got a wife that don't care for me at all. According to People, the two stars reconnected in 2019 after Affleck agreed to star in Smith's Jay and Silent Bob reboot. While Tiffani Thiessen joined the cast of 90210 in 1994, she later admitted to Howard Stern that she didn't have a warm welcome from the other female actors, which included Tori Spelling and Jennie Garth. But eventually, things got better, and Thiessen and Garth ended up becoming close. Thiessen mentioned that she was present for the birth of Garth's first child, but revealed that they, quote, had a falling out and grew apart.
You know, I really thought we could get along. I thought whatever friction we had last year was water under the bridge.
Explaining what happened to their friendship, Thiessen remarked,
We had a falling out and we kind of grew apart.
While Thiessen had moved on from her former friends, Garth and Spelling appeared to reignite their old feud when they were judges on RuPaul's Drag Race in 2017, when the two women saw that a drag queen dressed up as Thiessen's 90210 character.
How do you say it?
Bethany.
Just say that which we don't speak of.
Yes.
However, after rewatching the episode, Garth shared that it wasn't an attack on her former colleague. She stated, "Because I swear to God I was referring to the queen that was playing the character of Valerie, and she had a really fancy name like Doolery. I couldn't remember it, and it looked different than it came across." Actors Seth Rogen and James Franco had a friendship that spanned decades, starting with their roles on the show Freaks and Geeks. The men would go on to star in several films together, including This Is the End and The Interview. Unfortunately, their long-lived bromance was cut short when Franco was accused of sexual misconduct toward 5 women in 2018. A lawsuit was filed against the actor in 2019, but a settlement was reached in 2021. Franco has maintained his innocence, but it appeared to be too much for Rogen, who cut ties with his former buddy. In an interview with The Times, Rogen was asked if he had worked with Franco since the allegations arose, and shared, "The truth is that I have not, and I do not plan to right now." When he was asked about the sexual misconduct allegations, Rogen said, "What I can say is that I despise abuse and harassment, and I would never cover or conceal the actions of someone doing it, or knowingly put someone in a situation where they were around someone like that." Rogen could not define his relationship with Franco and agreed that it was painful. However, quote, "not as painful and difficult as it is for a lot of people involved." If you or anyone you know has been a victim of sexual assault, help is available. Visit the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network website or contact RAIN's National Helpline at 1-800-656-HOPE 4673.